There is a moment every man knows well. Someone says something small, something insignificant. Maybe it's a tone, maybe it's a look, maybe it's a single sentence. And suddenly your entire state changes. Your chest tightens, your patience disappears, your mind starts racing. You feel anger, irritation, or withdrawal rising faster than you can control. On the surface, it looks like the other person caused it. It feels like they crossed a line. It feels like they disrespected you. But what most men never realize is this. The intensity of your reaction is not coming from the present moment. It's coming from something older. Your triggers are not random. They are signals. They are messages from parts of your mind that have not been fully understood, processed, or resolved. And instead of speaking in words, they speak in emotional reactions. A trigger is your nervous system recognizing something familiar. Not logically familiar, but emotionally familiar. It detects a tone, a behavior, or a situation that reminds it of a past experience where you felt powerless, dismissed, rejected, or disrespected. And your nervous system reacts instantly before your conscious mind has time to analyze it. So this is why triggers, well, they feel automatic. They just sort of happen, don't they? They bypass logic. They bypass reasoning entirely. What they really do is activate survival patterns that were formed years ago, sometimes even decades back. For many older men, these patterns were built in environments where emotional expression wasn't really safe or encouraged. You may have learned to suppress vulnerability, to stay quiet, to tolerate discomfort, to endure without reacting. But here's the thing. Suppression doesn't actually eliminate emotional memory. It just stores it away. And when something in the present, even just a little bit, resembles that old emotional environment, your nervous system reacts like the past is happening all over again. That's why a simple disagreement can feel like deep disrespect. Why being ignored can feel like rejection. And why criticism, well, it can feel like a personal attack. So the trigger is not really about the current moment, It's about what the current moment actually represents. Now, this is where, most men make a critical mistake. They focus entirely on the external situation. They blame the person. They blame the environment. And they believe that by eliminating the trigger, they'll eliminate the reaction. But, you see, the trigger is not the enemy. The trigger is the teacher. It reveals where emotional wounds still exist. It shows you where your nervous system still feels unprotected. And it points to areas where your mind, developed defense mechanisms just to maintain stability. For example, if you feel intense anger when someone questions you, the trigger may be connected to past experiences where your authority, competence, or worth was challenged. Your nervous system learned to associate questioning with threat. If you feel the urge to withdraw when someone gets emotionally close, the trigger may be connected to past experiences of betrayal, loss, or emotional pain. Your nervous system learned that closeness leads to vulnerability, and vulnerability leads to danger. These reactions are not signs of weakness. They are signs of conditioning. Your mind created these patterns to protect you at a time when you needed protection. but what protected you in the past may now be limiting you in the present. The key to growth is not eliminating triggers, it is understanding them. The moment you feel triggered, there is a brief window where awareness becomes possible. Instead of reacting automatically, you can observe the reaction. You can notice the physical sensations, the tension, the emotional surge. This observation interrupts the automatic pattern. It allows your conscious mind to re-enter the process. Over time, this weakens the trigger's control. One practical step is simple but powerful. When you feel triggered, pause. Do not act immediately. Do not speak immediately. Let the initial emotional wave pass. This prevents the reaction from reinforcing the pattern. Next, ask yourself a direct question. What does this remind me of? Not logically, emotionally. This question shifts your focus inward. It begins to uncover the original source of the reaction. You may realize the reaction is connected to an old experience, a moment where you felt dismissed, ignored, powerless, or unseen. This realization changes everything, because once you understand the source, the trigger loses its mystery. It becomes predictable. It becomes manageable. Over time, the intensity decreases. You stop reacting automatically. You start responding consciously. This is how emotional mastery develops. Not by suppressing emotion, not by eliminating discomfort, but by understanding the messages your nervous system is sending. Most men spend their lives controlled by triggers they never examine. They believe their reactions are simply part of their personality. They never realize those reactions are learned patterns. But the moment you become aware of the pattern, you are no longer controlled by it. You regain authority over your internal state. You stop being pulled into emotional reactions that do not serve you. You develop stability, clarity, control. Your triggers were never designed to destroy you. They were, designed to protect you. But now they're actually trying to teach you. They're showing you where your attention is needed, where your understanding is incomplete, and where your emotional system is still operating from past conditions instead of present reality. This awareness is what separates reaction from control. And, control is what creates freedom. The next time something triggers you, do not immediately resist it. Just observe it, study it, and learn from it. Because, honestly, hidden inside every trigger is a message. And once you understand the message, the trigger loses its power. If this gave you clarity, subscribe to the channel and share this with someone who needs to understand what their reactions are really trying to tell them.